We are live. Good morning, Crypto Warriors, and welcome back to the Gentlemen of Crypto, episode 1014. Today is Thursday, November 10th, 2022, and I'm King.
And I'm Bitcoin Zay, here to bridge the gap between cryptocurrency and the community, Monday through Friday at 10-ish.
At 10ish, and today's top stories: FTX and Binance's ongoing saga, everything that's happened until now. Sequoia Capital marks down entire $214 million FTX stake to zero. FBF apologizes over FTX liquidity crisis, saying he effed up twice. Unclear regulations drove 95% of trading activity offshore, says Coinbase. Tron stablecoin USDD loses dollar peg on suspected sell-off by Alameda Research. Grayscale Bitcoin Trust records a 41% discount amid FTX meltdown. And last but not least, Crypto.com commits to proof of reserves after halting certain deposits and withdrawals. But first and foremost, what's going on with those prices?
Oh, yeah. So let's take a look at our prices for today. Bitcoin is sitting at $17,606, down 0.4%, but a huge bump from the $15,700 mark. Did fall all the way down there yesterday. Ethereum at $1,318 is up 7.5% today. Binance coin at $306 is up 2.1%. XRP at 36 cents is up 1.7%. Cardano sitting at 37 cents is up 2.6% today. Dogecoin at 9 cents is up almost 2% today. And rounding out the top 10 is Polygon, up 14% today at $1.10. And some of the trending coins, Binance coin down 0.1%. FTX token for the third day in a row, down 27.5%. I'm sure they'll probably stay trending for a while. Solana down 11.6% as well. And for our DGens who want to dumpster dive some of the recently added coins, Vetter Skylabs, Thanksgiving Floki, of course. There's always a good Floki or Inu ready to pop up during a significant event. And Mafia World Cup as well. So those are your prices for today.
Hey, let me know in the chat, are we blurry right now? I'm looking at the screen. It seems that we're blurry, at least from the control room I'm looking at. I hope that's that we're not. I'm not sure that's actually us being blurry. But let us know in the chat we're blurry. Until then, what's going on? Kadeem K, 11 Super Mario, Junior Maley, just call me L, Memories with Mike, Eric, JB, Crypto Key, Larry N. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the show. You saw 15K and some change last night. Everybody's saying you see 16, you saw 15.
Yeah.
Some change. Yep, my side definitely has a blur effect on it. I meant the overall screen, but the old screen's good and awesome. All right, top story of the day. We're about to talk about FTX and Binance. I mean, literally, we were talking about it live in the show yesterday, and we were calling things as they're happening. But this thing is crazy right now. FTX and Binance's ongoing saga, everything that's happened until now. Essentially, this story highlights some of the main things that's happening with Binance, or excuse me, FTX in this saga, the Binance saga. November 9th, yesterday, FTX website urges against depositing, unable to process withdrawals. So at least shout out to them for coming back online, telling people not to deposit anything. Also yesterday, SBF told his investors, could you imagine waking up to an investor call and say, hey, I know you gave me a lot of money, but I need $8 billion more of emergency funding, because that's exactly what happened. Reports emerged on November 9th that Bankman-Fried also asked investors on a call for $8 billion in emergency funding to cover the liquidity crunch caused by user withdrawals over the past days. Really quick, I want to say shout out to SBF again, the American dream, people. How tone deaf do you need to be, and how what's it? I don't even know the words I'm looking for.
Aloof.
Essentially,
Aloof.
well, not even a tone deaf and a loop on his end, but for the market and the mainstream is like, do you understand what type of, and it's not false confidence either, because it's work. But to have the type of confidence to not only have a company of this size and magnitude begin to go under, but to come back the next day and say, hey, investors, I need just as much money to keep afloat, not even to be successful, just to stay afloat. Like the gall, the gumption, like please, and I hate to do it. I'm not even going to do it. I'm just going to say this. If the guy looked like me, he couldn't do that. Like, just by and large, like, and not just me, but many people. If this guy looked like many other human beings, there is no fucking way you can crash almost an entire economy, a crypto economy and market. You could jack up your multi-billion-dollar business. You're just worth 16, you're worth 1. So you lost 15 billion overnight, and then come back and ask investors for another $8 billion. I mean, wow, if that is not the crypto market in its entirety right
Mm.
there, like that
Oh,
is it. People like him having the ability to do this. Someone who was brand new to crypto, started a
mhm.
new project in exchange, failed miserably, got money to do it, who knows where, and now may possibly get even more money in lifelines. Like, this is absolutely absurd. This is absurd. And this is why we're going to get fucking regulation.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
we're going to get it because things like this are going unchecked right now. It's like, who is this guy? Once again, I still don't know who he is. SBF, I have no clue how he came. Alameda
Mhm.
Research, I don't know where they get their money from either. From what I read, it looks like someone gave him a lot of money early on. He opened up Alameda Research with that money. Or excuse me, no, he actually worked for another analytical company, made money from that, started his own business. All those old people and his old friends gave him money for that business, which he bought Bitcoin, became very rich, started the exchange. However, expert, I mean, I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing the expertise here. I'm
Mm.
seeing a trust fund baby with a silver spoon in their mouth, allowed to make mistakes and not have any penalties or punishment, and to actually have the ability to make the same mistake again as
Oh.
it's happening. Like, again, and this is in real time. Real
Mm.
time, this guy yesterday just said to his investors, can I get another $8 billion in emergency funding? Again, to even have the cojones to do that. Shout out
Mhm.
to SBF. To even, I mean, and he's doing it for a reason because he knows there's a chance he can get it.
Mhm. Yeah, he
You
got it
gotta love
before.
it.
He got the money before, and it's crazy how the story unfolded. Everything that's coming out now is crazy, especially when we discuss the details of. Let's take a look here. I'm gonna share this real quick. Let's take a look at his company structure. All right. So if anybody ever heard of the company Lehman Brothers? You may
Mm-mm.
have heard of Lehman Brothers back in '08. They had a similar, very complicated structure here, and this looks just like Lehman Brothers in '08. Very complicated, makes it hard for auditors to follow the money. But however, at the end all be all, they were over leveraged. They were supporting themselves with a token that tanked, and they got caught with their pants down. Like the old saying goes, you don't know who's naked until the tide comes out, and that's what it looks like here. But this is their corporate structure. Very complicated. Very. He seemed like he was smart, but however, I do. Can I read this from Sequoia Capital real
Yeah,
quick?
go ahead.
All right, so
Uh,
Sequoia.
well, we're gonna hit that story next, but
Okay,
you
yeah,
want to wait for a second?
yeah, we'll hit it next. But yeah, you are right. And the fact that you would lose all of this money and then just come out and say, "Hey, guys, by the way, can I get 8 billion to clean up my mess?" I mean, the unmitigated gall of SBF to do this. But I do want to put on my tinfoil hat. I did read
Oh,
a.
here we go. We found out the reason. But go ahead.
Oh yeah, we found. I saw a good thing here where they said SBF seems like he was a plant by some sort of intelligence
I
organization.
said that yesterday. He was a plant.
Yeah, we said that. Yeah, but somebody was
Yeah.
saying that they have proof of it. They just haven't put it out yet. They were saying they have proof of it
Oh,
because remember how
I
many
have
people
proof of it. He came out the
came
fucking
out
blue
of
with
the
billions
blue?
of dollars. Like,
Yeah, who
what?
is this dude? We was like, who
And
is this?
everyone, I can tell you who else another crypto plant. One of your homies. You ain't going to hear it because he
Oh,
came out the blue too. Who?
oh yeah, it's a lot of people that
Oh yeah,
I'm
it's another big plant. And it's another young big plant. I ain't gonna say his
oh yeah.
name. He,
I
he
I
came
even
out. He
I
came
even
out the blue with a big audience and a lot of money too. And I was just like, and bro was talking from a. He still talks from authority. I'm just like,
all right.
interesting. That's what's up.
Interesting. And you know what? That's why I tweeted yesterday. I said I had to stop talking to a lot of people because I've been approached by so many World Economic Forum people. It's sickening. I mean, so many WF people out of the
Listen,
fucking blue. I mean, literally never heard of these people, and they showed up with money out. Yeah, we can give you money for this. We give you money for that, and they were all confused when I was like, no, because I was like, why is dozens of WF people showing up this year? They're infiltrated. They've
well,
already infiltrated, and they're
they
trying to
they are.
take it all the way down, get the regulations to come, introduce the CBDC, make it seem like crypto can't work without regulations. You already seen Senator Warren come out and say something. Cynthia Loomis said something. It's the same old playbook. Create the problem and show up with a solution. It's been happening for thousands of years, and this is exactly what I think is happening right now. So SBF asked for 8 billion. He won't get it, but they basically use him as a patsy. They was like, hey, let's get this super smart MIT guy who thinks he can run an exchange. Let's give him billions of dollars. You saw the people who invested, BlackRock, Sequoia, all these big names. Let's give him all this money. He'll be the front man. He'll look like the bad guy. When in reality, there's no way in hell he should have got that much money that early, that quick. And this is what happens. And for anybody who's never been in a bear market, This happens to exchanges all the time, but this time is a little different because it is right on the precipice of the CBDCs that are coming. So this is definitely a plan, and we both called it. I mean, we called this out for months. I mean, what else can you do?
So a few things. I'm seeing a ton of comments rolling. People definitely want to talk about this today. EM said another one bites the dust. I mean, basically that's what it is. SBF just dropped a Twitter thread explaining the situation. We need to look at that. Also, CZ dropped a thread yesterday. I actually wanted to bring that up. I forgot to mention that.
Yeah,
Uh,
I was reading
let's
SBF a couple
Yeah, I
minutes.
liked it, but I mean, it's a couple things I want to talk about on it. Let's see. LeBron told SBF that FTX was insolvent, but they didn't want to listen. Was that a commercial or something?
Nah, everybody was joking about how LeBron lies all the time. Um,
Oh,
yeah, he basically where he was like fake reading Malcolm X book where he said he was listening to Migos back in 2010 or something like that.
I
Like he just
saw that. It's something.
yeah,
Yeah.
he just like somebody said my favorite quote is something. He was like, yeah, that's my favorite quote too. Like, come on, man,
Listen, no,
he's just
if you
lying.
haven't noticed, listen, people, God don't make mistakes. God
Exactly.
made sure Russell Wilson, LeBron James, like he's making sure they get the money for real. He don't want me with that money. give
uh,
it, give it to the guys who act like they care about people, type of deal. Let's see. I'm trying to look for some of these comments I saw. Some great comments. Some people said they caught that 15K dip. That's pretty cool.
oh yeah,
Let's see. Binance with the pump fakes. Yes, we will be calling it out. We talked about that yesterday, how it looked like they pump faked them. Poor SBF, only $950 million to his name. Exactly. Hire
hey, no,
SBF to be a crypto advisor for the show, guys. Hilarious.
no.
Let's see. What was this about? Never confront her, but I did very gently. I told her it wasn't her fault, but the fact that I'm not sure what that's about. I was going to tell you with the WEF though, in the short term, they may actually be a friend of crypto, and the reason why is because shout out, I can't remember who sent it to me. I actually need to send the link out. It was a WEF forum with like crypto people, not necessarily semi crypto people. Did you see this recently?
I saw it before, but I don't know. I don't know what
It
one
was
is.
just came out about maybe a month ago. It's like 3 women and one guy on the panel.
Mm, I don't think I saw that one.
Well, all right. So somebody sent it to me. I was ready to start thrashing it from the beginning, but it actually was pretty good. Like I'm surprised the WEF even posted that and let it stay up. They basically were arguing that this environmental argument is nonsense, and here's the ways around it. Why crypto's good. Big like they were actually arguing for Bitcoin and crypto for real, on the WEF platform and forum. Now I do think it's a honeypot and long term. They're just trying to get people in. But right now, they are actually backing Bitcoin and crypto, bro. I trust me. I had to watch the thing like 2 or 3 times. Like, what? They are, and it was a great, healthy conversation. So I would say consider it in the short term. Just know that, of course, they're gonna play the long game. But right
Oh
now,
yeah.
they're actually in it. They're actually into to the crypto side of the house right now. I'm not sure who convinced who,
Mhm.
or I'm not sure if maybe America, the president, somebody said something smart, and they was like, "Oh, we got to start planning for America now." I'm
Hey,
not sure what it was, but I'm
it's
telling
called
you, they're for it.
controlled opposition. That's what it's called.
There it is.
Controlled opposition.
Um,
They'll be
Reno,
the people fighting against it while still on the same team as the people that are fighting for it, for the environmental stuff. It's controlled opposition. That's also a great war tactic as well. So we'll see how that
sh-
shakes out.
Shout out to Jump Out Girls there in the chat. Reno, this is what I was looking for. Meanwhile, IRS wants to see what I'm doing with $600. That is my point about all this stuff. When I go off on these tangents and rants, like that is my point. You got old Biden talking about he gonna decrease the national debt by taxing crypto. When it's like you can't decrease the national debt when you keep trying to like pay for everybody's lifestyle. Hey, so that's not even
Well,
possible.
hey, what's
But also, it's
15% of
just like
zero?
it's like a PayPal, Venmo, Stripe, anything over $600 the government wants to know, but they don't want to know how a random individual got billions of dollars, started a crypto exchange, failed, and then is asking for billions of dollars again. No, that doesn't meet the government standards of regulation. But that $600 payment you just did last night to buy a new PS5, oh, we got to talk about that shit. We
Yeah,
got
exactly.
to talk about that. They said Buddy was a front man. No way he had money like that. I believe it as
Oh,
well.
yeah, we know.
And yeah, so we got a lot of stuff coming up in the chat, but let's keep going with these stories. Again, he just told them he need the 8 billion in emergency funding. Crypto market and sea of red, of course, yesterday. And then this is the big one. We talked about this possibly happening yesterday, and it was actually happening live. And that's Binance officially backed out of the agreement. That is right. Less than 48 hours after initial announcement by Zhao that Binance could move to buy FTX, Binance announced on November 9th that it would not be pursuing the acquisition of FTX as a result of corporate due diligence, as well as latest news reporting regarding mishandled customer funds and alleged U.S. agency investigations, we have decided that we will not pursue the potential acquisition. Here's a few things to note, people. Again, we basically called this out live saying it was going to happen because this is how business works. You are absolutely crazy if you did not think, like, people, I did it live for you. All right, like, let's not even go deep on this. Like, I literally did it live for you. So you're absolutely crazy to think a multi-billion-dollar company like Binance that has lawyers, compliance departments, works with governments and regulators and everything else, at the end of the day, didn't think before doing their due diligence that it would be issues with customer funds and U.S. agency investigations. Come on, like
Come on.
that's the most obvious thing on the people. If there's ever missing money and there's a U.S. customer involved, there's going to be a United States agency involved. They want their cut too. So, like, to me, this was a cop out by Binance. And speaking of that cop out, I actually want to go to these tweets. Do you have the tweets pulled up by him?
Which one for SBF?
CZ. Yeah, CZ.
The recent
No,
one.
it was some great. Here we go. I think I have them right here.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So this is the Binance tweets. I'm trying to see more. Here we go. I want to go straight to CZ and actually what he was tweeting. And
Oh,
this
shit.
is actually him tweeting to President Nayib, saying that we don't have to worry about Bitcoin and FTX, and we never had any business with them. Let's see.
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't find it right now.
Hold on.
He tweeted a lot yesterday, actually. It was a whole thread about what happened.
Okay. Yeah, I think I found it right here. Dang, I just found out CZ follows me on Twitter. That's nice. Let's see.
Nice.
I don't know. I gotta find it on here as well. I can't see it.
We'll go back to them.
We'll go
We'll
back to
go
it.
back to it.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah. Along with this news, we're talking Sequoia Capital as well. They marked down their entire $214 million FTA stake to zero. I mean, this literally looks like Three Arrows Capital. If you remember, Three Arrows Capital had about $559 million in Terra that went down to like $600 or something, $700.
Yeah.
This is the same thing, 214 down to zero. The venture capital firm assured its partners a rigorous due diligence assessment when it invested in FTX, finding the exchange to generate $1 billion in revenue and $250 million in operating income. Again, I say no. No one in this space has done their due diligence if they haven't come across a gem in the crypto or some of our partners, okay? Because if you had, then you will already know the moves you're making make no sense. Hey, we did due diligence. They make $1 billion in revenue, not in profit, in revenue. Let's make sure we're clear about that. So we're going to give them $250,000. Huh?
Quarter of a
That,
billion.
again, from a business point of view, don't even make sense. I would have loved for them to say they generate $1 billion in profit, but it says they generate $1 billion in revenue and $250 million operating income. So we're already looking at 750 of revenue. We don't even know what that actual profit even is, and how many different partners they actually have to split that profit with. So again, to me, on the surface, not make. And again, this is one of those things. You got 214 million. Stop being greedy.
Exactly.
How can we get that 214 million to $1 billion? How about how you can get it to zero?
Well, they just showed you.
Yeah, what's going on with this story here? What's the deal here?
They just showed their playbook of how to take 214 million and turn it into zero. But I do want to point out this: they did their due diligence. However, this is something that is sort of disheartening at this point because, all right, this is on the Sequoia website. This is a blog that they posted yesterday. They said they were stating about SBF. They said that's when SBF told Sequoia about the so-called super app FTX. Of course, buy Bitcoin, buy whatever you want, buy a banana. Suddenly, the chat window on the side of the Zoom lights up with partners freaking out. I love this founder. I am a 10 out of 10, pinged another. Yes, exclaimed a third. What Sequoia was reacting to was the scale of SBF's vision. It wasn't a story about how you might use fintech in the future or whatever, vision of money. And the last paragraph, which is the funniest part, I sit 10 feet from him and I walked over thinking, oh shit, that was really good. And it turns out that the fucker was playing League of Legends through the entire meeting. That is SBF. He was playing League of Legends through an entire meeting with Sequoia Capital where they did due diligence to make sure that they had the money in place. Now, King, if me and you sat down with some investors and we had a whole discussion and they walked over and they saw us playing 2K the whole time, I guarantee you it wouldn't be $214 million. We couldn't even get 214 cents out of these motherfuckers. What in the world were you thinking? I don't understand how. I mean, again, that takes some big balls to sit there and just play League of Legends while you're playing. But I don't understand how they still went forward with this investment unless this was all coordinated to make sure that they get this centralized exchange, crash it, and then come in with the regulations. I mean, you're either incompetent or you're in on it. I mean, they can't be that incompetent. They've invested in some of the biggest companies in the world, Airbnb, I believe Apple, Google. Like Sequoia Capital is pretty savvy, but this just takes the cake here. And I mean, we never trust the SBF. People who have been in Bitcoin for a long time, you can look at the guy and see something is a little off. And in my opinion, if you sit on stage with Tony Blair and Bill Clinton, you already a op at that point. So I don't even know how how people saw that Crypto Bahamas conference and didn't think to themselves, this might be a little shady stuff going on right here. But this is that's Sequoia Capital. That is what they found out when they got the money or got the investment ready for SBF.
And I like this here. It says JG Wentworth said SBF's dad wrote the premier law book on federal tax law that is used in law schools across the country. They aren't going to do anything to him because he's in the gang by birth. If that is true, then yes, he is in the
Yes.
gang by birth. I didn't know that, and it makes a lot more sense.
Oh yeah, I knew that. Yeah,
Makes a lot more sense.
he's clicked up. Trust me. Yeah, he is. But hey, they needed a patsy.
Jake Fever said they better learn how to print money like Charlie Lee did. They doing it all wrong. Litecoin to the moon. Hilarious. Let's see. Stonk's way of doing things is creeping into crypto, says Kinez. I agree. The Stonk's way of doing things are definitely creeping into crypto. Let's see. What else do we have? He was too new to be in the space. That's
Mm-hmm.
true. Is it true that Tom Brady and Giselle, $650 million, and his wife lost 184 million to FTX?
I
I'm not
believe
sure.
based on the stake that they had in there, yeah. I mean, if everything went to zero, whatever they staked, I don't know the exact number. I don't want to, put it out what the number is, but yeah, they lost everything just like everybody else. Steph Curry, Shaq, Naomi Osaka, all of these investors. There's a lot of famous people that were caught up in this web, but there's a lot of famous people that were caught up with Bernie Madoff too, including a former president. So it's not like there's no precedent for this, but we've seen it before.
I said they got a complexion for the protection. Something's going on.
Mm.
SBF hit Sequoia with the back of the napkin map. What? Let's see. Yeah, one way for Sequoia to write off some of their other doo-doo placements. Oh, you already know. They about every loss this year is going into this one. They're about to say, look, this is what it is.
Oh yeah,
LeBron brought
interesting.
his first Bitcoin off Napster and heard about it on MySpace. You are hilarious.
Oh,
Why are exchanges allowed to use their own coins to support BS leverage, then be asking for KYC with no damn reserves themselves? This is the game, people. That is how you add barriers to entry. So you and I don't wake up one day and say, hey, we can just start an exchange. Technically, you don't need millions of dollars. You need enough Bitcoin to service the volume. That's all you need. So if you have an exchange that 5 people use daily, a volume of 5 people, whatever, cool. As long as you have enough Bitcoin to cover down on those 5 people, you have an exchange.
yeah,
Then from there, you charge them fees, and you can grow to 10 people, then 20, then 100, then 1,000, then 10,000. Then next thing you know, we got one of the biggest exchanges in the planet. Like that is literally how easy it is to start an exchange.
yeah,
However, there are government agencies like here in the U.S. that's saying, "Oh, you're servicing 5 people for Bitcoin." Even though Bitcoin's brand new and we don't even have laws around it, we're telling you this shit is illegal because it reminds us of something we did back in the 20s with some like I don't know, but literally that's why people it's very easy for these to start. They're low barrier to entries. Is that they're making it more difficult. They want to make it more competitive. They want to add barriers so that everybody isn't trying to be an exchange because then it will be in pop. Like right now, everyone could be an exchange. You already are with your Bitcoin wallet on your phone. But the government does not want you to know that because they will have literally no way to control this thing. So,
mhm.
yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah. And
Um,
what you just described, when everybody was saying how they can just do this out the blue, if you haven't heard of it, it's something called the flywheel. Let me show it here so people can get the insight on what I'm talking about. This is the basic architecture of a flywheel scheme. Shout out to Corey Swan at Pacific Bitcoin. Sorry, I can't make it out there. But you create a token, you pump the token price, you mark gains on your balance sheet, you show those gains to investors, you raise cash through equity sales or loans, and then you repeat and use that money to pump the token price. And you continue to do that. And this has happened with FTX, Celsius, Crypto.com, Nexo, Babel, Voyager, and definitely more. So if you don't know the game, that is the basic game for how this happens. It's just how much money can you raise based off of those gains. That's why all of this stuff happens in the bear market, because when you say we made 12,000%, every investor is going to perk up and say, well, let me put a little bit in there. Let me put a little bit. And that's how we get where we are now.
Let's see. Just call me El. Said my question that I tweeted yesterday: what kind of fallout will we see for the FTX subsidiaries like the one in the Bahamas? Interesting. Who knows? But you know what? Since you're asking this, Leroy, I was on the fence about it, but I might actually do it. And that's basically the securities commissioner from the Bahamas, I think, or somewhere in that region, wants to come on the show and talk. I was kind of on the fence about it because I don't have anything really polite to say. We'll be like, hey, why y'all trying to take over the markets? but we'll see if I can actually get her on, and maybe that'll be a good conversation or question for her once she actually gets on. Because I mean, from just us analyzing it, I mean, if it's an FTX subsidiary in Bahamas, I don't understand. I don't know how it would survive. FTX is barely surviving, so I'm not understanding how a subsidiary would survive unless that subsidiary was used to was used in the economic as an economic vehicle, i.e., we're using this vehicle to say we to write off our losses, or this is the one we do our charity through, or this is the one, like if it's one of those where it's just a piece of the puzzle, it's not the entire puzzle, then they'll be fine. But if it's actually no, we rely on FTX and X, Y, and Z, like we're relying on them more than they're leaning on us, then I think they'll fail. What about you?
Yeah, same thing. Dominoes fall. When they fall from the top, everybody's going to get affected. Unless, like you said, they're kind of protected with the nonprofits or they already got their money liquid. But if they were relying on tokens and relying on FTX exchange to give them some sort of amount of capital, they can hang that up. Yeah, and somebody already answered the question for me. They said, what I got in this red cup? SBF tears, baby. Drinking them all day.
Hilarious. All right, I think I found the I'm looking for the what's called tweets. I think I did find the Twitter, the tweets. There we go. I found it. I'm about to bring this up. I think shout out to CZ. I like these tweets. Thank you, Antonio Franklin, for the super chat, the tip. Appreciate the game and much love from the East Side Chicago gentlemen. There we go. East Side Chicago, another Midwest brethren. What's going on with you? Here, let me bring up this article here. Let me see. First, I want to bring up these CZ tweets so we can go over there real quick. All right, CZ said, given the events that transpired over the last couple of days, I want to reiterate a few points. One, we did not master plan this or anything related to it. It was less than 24 hours ago the SBF called me, and before that, I had very little knowledge of the internal state of things at FTX. I could do some mental calculations with our revenues to guess theirs, but it will never be very accurate. I was surprised when he wanted to talk. My first reaction was he wants to do an OTC deal, but here we are. All right. I'm 50-50 on this. I kind of believe, like, I believe that you did not have a master plan. I will fully believe that and agree to it. It's kind of difficult to do that. But I'm not believing just based off some mental calculations. Like, come on, bro.
Come on.
If I'm in exchange from a business point of view, if I'm in exchange and there's only 2 or 3 competitors, I'm going to know everything about you.
Yeah.
Like, the fuck?
Yeah, exactly.
There's only 2 or 3 of you. I'm gonna know about your whole board, where everybody live, where everybody eat, favorite food, what mistakes you make, what strengths. I'm gonna know everything. There's only 2 competitors.
Yeah,
like Coinbase is like, what are you talking about? It's not. So I'm not believing like, just mental calculation. Like, no, come on, bro, come on. Yeah. You knew who your competition was, so that's like and because you're not being fully upfront, that's why I gotta be like, how much more are you lying about? But I'll give you the 50-50. 2, as a due diligence for the deal is ongoing, I want to remind everyone, do not trade FTT tokens. If you have a bag, you have a bag. Do not buy or sell. As soon as I finished the call with SBF yesterday, I asked our team to stop selling as an organization. Yes, we have a bag, but that's okay. More importantly, we need to hold ourselves to a higher standard than even the banks. Shout out to that hand clap. I think that was an amazing. Where's the don't go chasing bags and trading, as we're saying. 3, obviously do not comment on the deal publicly or internally. If you're not directly involved, don't ask. We got a good team handling it. Things will play out. All right, I agree on that as well. 4, FTX going down is not good for anyone in the industry. Again, we agree with that. We say that about all crypto companies. It's good to see bad actors and bad companies be destroyed essentially to disappear in the space. But it's not good for the industry because, as he points out here, do not view it as a win for us. User confidence is severely shaken. Regulators will scrutinize exchanges even more. Licenses around the globe will get harder to get. Actually, I take that back. This all is good for crypto.
Yeah.
I want user confidence to be shaken in shit coins. And I want regulators to scrutinize exchanges that should not exist even more because, again, we don't need exchanges at all. But since we have them, you're making everything else harder, like just doing strictly peer to peer transactions. Licenses. I want licenses to be hard to get because it shows how ridiculous they are. You don't need a license to do Bitcoin and crypto. But to continue on with his tweet, and people now think we're the biggest and will attack us even more, but that's okay. We are used to being open and leaning into headwinds. He's talking about Binance. In fact, we embrace scrutiny. We must significantly increase our transparency, proof of reserves, insurance funds. A lot more to come in this area. We have a lot of tough work ahead of us, not to mention price swinging wildly. Speaking of prices, as I said many times over the years, ignore the prices. Let's keep our heads down and focus on building products people use. It has always worked over the years, and today is obviously no exception. Lastly, he's really proud of everybody and the work they're doing. Again, all in all, I think this is a solid message from Binance, from CZ, and he's calling his folks Binancians. I never heard that. Binancians? That's interesting.
Binancians?
Binancians. What are your thoughts on this CZ post? I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, I actually did read this before. I thought it was pretty good. Again, I don't believe that he had no knowledge of the competition and that he had a shot to actually take them out. I think he had some knowledge. However, I think that going forward, he is correct. They are number one. They will have a target on their back. But they are pretty bulletproof at this point from the other exchanges because they see how smart CZ is. They see how smart his team is. And I think the people that are behind CZ are extremely happy that he wasn't the one that this happened to. So he put out this message. He seems like he's trying to be, I guess, sort of humble a little bit, but at the same time, I mean, he knows what's up. You got to clear out the trash if you want to get most of the profit. So all those people on FTX that are never going to use it again, well, guess where they're going to? Binance. So
yep.
It isn't like he's crying tears right now. He probably just doubled his net worth at this point. And I know somebody said that CZ, this was the biggest gangster move of all time in crypto history. Might be. This might be the biggest gangster move in crypto history. Not of all time, though. I told you all yesterday about Nathan Rothschild. That was the biggest gangster move of all time. But CZ,
Reggie about to be the close second here in a second.
Well, Reggie might supplant him if everything.
Or actually, be the first. That would be the first.
Yeah, he'd be one to me if he pulls this off and he has to get a piece of everything in the industry based on his IP and the patents. Can't wait for that to come out. So again, if you talk about some gangster moves, this is one of the top ones. And I mean, who couldn't have seen that coming? I mean, good gracious, we did. And a couple, I think BitBoy called it out with FTX and maybe a couple other people, but I didn't hear that many people saying FTX.
BitBoy said FTX was bad.
Well, a year ago, he said FTT might take off. And then like a few months ago, he was saying he had information about FTX that something was going wrong.
Oh, well, he just had info.
Yeah, again, so who knows there. But he did call it out early enough so that a lot of people didn't get wrecked. I don't think we've ever told anybody to use FTX on our channel, ever. I never have. So I don't know if we've ever told anybody that. But I do know if we continue forward in this same process, at some point, people are going to get wrecked enough and rug pulled enough and lose enough money to just come on back home to Bitcoin and just Bitcoin and chill. That's all you got to do, people. Bitcoin and chill. Grab Bitcoin and take a nap.
All right, I just want to point this out again, the ridiculousness of this. The man called SBF is recently hailed as crypto's JP Morgan, even though JP Morgan is fucking terrible when it comes to the traditional banking industry and the planet, because they are some of the people who start the wars. So I don't know why you even want to be hailed as the crypto version. But he was hailed as the crypto versions of JP Morgan as he rode to the rescue of distressed rivals during the crypto winter's first downturn. Again, people, like, the fact that we're hyping these people up. Like, first, we had Crypto Mom, who was a regulator. Crypto Mom was a literal regulator. I'm not sure who's giving these people these names, how they're getting as much search volume as they're getting, how they're getting as much people, but
I know how.
It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous.
I met her in Miami. You know what she said? How did she get the name Crypto Mom? She gave it to herself. She just named herself Crypto Mom. She was like, I'm a mother and I'm in crypto. And she just called herself Crypto Mom, and she had a big enough platform on the board of the SEC for people to run with it. Anybody that gives themselves a nickname, it's kind of,
All right. Last but not least on this, we got to move on. We spent the whole show on this so far, so we'll cover everything else. SBF did apologize with liquidity crisis. He said, I fucked up twice. You could see here, he's saying, I should have said more. I'm sorry. I was slammed with things to do and didn't give updates to y'all. Hey, I was busy. I was hella busy, and the money was going down, so I didn't give a chance. give y'all an update. My bad. The
Mhm.
first time of poor internal labeling of bank-related accounts meant that I was substantially off on my sense of users' margin. I thought it was way lower, the FTX CEO said. He also added, I'm sorry, that's the biggest thing. I fucked up and should have done better. And again, this was jacked up about it. Like this is let's put the picture. He gets to lose billions of your dollars and then come out. No, let's make this clear. He gets to lose billions of dollars of your money and then tell you everything is fine so you don't pull out your money. And then when it's officially lost, he asks for more money. And when he doesn't get that, then he say, I'm sorry, guys, I fucked up twice. And he's allowed to ride off into the sunset. That's this guy right here.
Yep.
I don't know how he's able to do it, and no one else is, but he is definitely able to do that. He's doing it. He got everybody money, claimed to be the king of the JP Morgan of crypto. He lost you guys' money. He asked for more money and didn't get it. And then he apologized for losing everybody's money and lying about
Hey man, I was busy.
it.
I was busy, man. Busy
I was
doing
too busy to
busy
email
doing
y'all
what?
back, but
Eating.
I wasn't too busy to tell you everything was fine.
Yeah, come
I
on, man.
love it.
Busy doing
I
what?
love it.
Eating cucumbers
Listen,
and not combing your hair? What were you busy doing?
listen.
Yeah.
I mean, what does he have that other people don't have to allow him to get billions of dollars and be a newbie in the industry and take it over, then be allowed to lose that money and face no penalty? What does he have that the rest of us don't? I don't
I
know.
know what it is.
It might be that pretty curly hair.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hey, apparently if you walk around with dirty tennis shoes and shorts and are unkept, that makes you a genius, I guess. I guess that's what does it because that's the same people who keep getting all the money. Him, Vitalik, same old, nerd dudes that seem smart, but they just keep getting money because of that. So who knows? I don't know why he got
Who
it.
knows? Antonio Franklin, thank you for the tip. For Sam to have the balls go in front of Congress, pushing regulations, knowing he was scamming is crazy. If he don't go Fed, he's definitely a plant.
Oh yeah,
That's my thing too. He was in front of Congress.
perjury.
And that was my point when it happened. I'm like, how is he even in front of Congress? Is he has a lot of money in a big platform? Like, even though that was literally given to him. I love it. That's kind of like when the all the JP Morgan folks who were working on the Quorum blockchain were in like Fortunes or Forbes top 100 people in crypto, and there was all these people like, who? It was like, yeah, they've been on the JP Morgan crypto trading desk now for 6 months. It's like, it's only been open for 6 months. Like, yeah, that's what they're doing. It's like, so how are they crypto's top 100? They were JP Morgan.
Exactly.
But they haven't done anything. But they were JP Morgan. Oh, okay, but JP Morgan doesn't have anything to do with crypto. But they're with JP Morgan.
Hey, man, that's like the high school basketball rankings. You play for the right team, you be the top 100. You be like, but he only scored 30 one time, and it's like, yeah, but he plays for this team, or he's with Nike, or he's with Adidas. He's going to blah blah blah, and you'll get top 100 all day. It's just the nature of the beast, man. And man, this is hilarious, man. Watching it in real time, people.
And Cario's crazy. Shout out to him and his lady. He has a great family. He said, I called his girl Crypto Mom after I Bitcoin and chilled all night long. You all hilarious. We met them. They came out. Great family right there. Shout out to Cario and his lady.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. Speaking of which, he said, TGOC saved me when they said any company or project with a human at the head is going to eventually get exposed. It really is, though. All right. Shout out to BitBoy. Pound Crypto said he did call it. He said SBF was some bullshit. He probably wanted that affiliate link and SBF ain't give it to him. He was like, oh, man, y'all over here on some. They say, y'all got some weird shit going on over there. Hey, bro, they ain't give me no affiliate link. They got some weird shit going on.
Oh, yeah.
And I want to give a quick shout out. We had a couple more tips come in. Shout out to Jake Fever for the tip. Southside Chicago over here. You jive turkey. Say hello. Just kidding. Sergeant Crypto, thanks for the tip. Mr. Wonderful, Kevin O'Leary, Mitch Ass has used FTX also. I think he has some equity in it too. So you know the regulations are definitely coming. Yeah,
Dang.
Mr. Wonderful took an L. He's definitely gonna go crying to mommy and daddy nanny state also. So that's for sure. All right. Enough about that. We literally spent the whole show on it, so we're gonna have to just slide through the rest of these stories. Unclear, that is right. Unclear regulations drove 95% of trading activity offshore, says Coinbase CEO. I will actually agree. I don't know if that's a percentage, but it definitely did. The U.S. regulators are currently investigating it. And real quick, that's the thing. U.S., we're going to charge you $600 every $100 transaction we need to know about. We need to pay off the national debt, taxes, that. You could have made crypto trading legal here in the United States. And from 2016 to now, we would have had billions of dollars in transaction fees paid to American companies, paid to American citizens who work for those companies, and paid out to the American government in taxes. We could have did that in the last 5 years already. But no, No, it's illegal. It's for criminals, super shadowy super coders, right? All that extra shit. Well, you know what? 95% of that trading went offshore. The U.S. regulators currently investigating FTX, U.S. Coinbase, and Binance. Oh man, this is Coinbase snitching. Oh, hey, it took me two cents. Hey, this is Coinbase. Hey, I ain't gonna tell nobody. I'm not telling nobody in New York, but them DC cats. I'll give you everybody in DC. I ain't give you nobody in Harlem, B. Because when I come home, they still gonna love me. Listen, they didn't want to give away American companies, but they're definitely giving up some foreign companies. That's right. Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong did his best impression of Nino Brown and said, "Oh, it ain't just me. This is way bigger than me. All right, I can get the name and name." He was not delighted.
Brains of the operation.
Right,
The last
he was not delighted with the news.
Wall Street was the brains of the operation.
With the news about the United States regulators looking into FTX.US along with Coinbase and Binance.US. So he basically waved his head and said, "That's not fair. What about all these foreign companies?" Brian, you forget. Foreign companies have foreign militaries. If we do want to press them, we have to actually consider going to war. We can't just go after them like we can you, hang you upside down and shake the Sonic coins out of you. All right, it's a big difference. But again, this is Armstrong said that the enforcement action against U.S.-based companies for the irregularities committed by an offshore crypto exchange that fall out of the jurisdictions of U.S. regulators makes no sense. I would agree. And this is why this whole space is such a slippery slope, and you have to choose sides. Because if you're not choosing the side of, say, I don't know, Ross Ulbricht, Silk Road, who got a double life sentence, shout out to Lynn, his mother. And I'm not sure where Coinbase CEO stands on that, but they were in that New York meeting years ago, so I would assume now on the same side because they try to take over the Bitcoin network. But when you do things, Coinbase and Brian Armstrong, like try to take over the Bitcoin network or don't offer support to Ross Ulbricht in the loudest way possible, a person who received a double life sentence in New York for a crime, an internet crime, a digital crime, while he is arrested in San Francisco. That's right, arrested in San Francisco, California for a digital crypto crime and tried in Wall Street's backyard in New York City. How did he go there? No one knows, but they did it and they gave him a double L and we haven't heard from it. So if shit like that is sliding, then yes, while it's unfair, it isn't right, and it should be illegal against the law, the United States regulators are going after companies that have, like he said, there are offshore crypto exchanges that fall out the jurisdiction. It don't matter. I told you, we're a fucking gang. You're going to believe it, and you're going to either get down or you're going to lay down. That's the only things that's going to happen, all right?
From here on, nothing goes down unless I'm involved. No blackjack, no dope deals, no nothing. A nickel bag gets sold in the park. I want in.
All right? It's a real simple thing. I'm not understanding why. Coinbase, you're a part of the gang now. You're a public company. Armstrong's comments came in response to Senator Elizabeth Warren's call for aggressive enforcement in the wake of the FTX crisis. That's the second person. Loomis said something as well as Warren. The Coinbase CEO blamed the Securities and Exchange Commission for the lack of regulatory clarity in the U.S., which he believes drove out 95% of trading activity at offshore exchanges. The problem is that the SEC failed to create regulatory clarity here in the U.S. So many American investors and 95% of trading activity went offshore. Punishing U.S. companies for this makes no sense. And I agree. But here is the last thing I'm going to say before I give it to Bitcoin Zay. You have to remember, it is very fortunate, but right now as our government is structured as is, they are not here for the American people by and large. They are here to make more money. The American government is a business. We're a capitalistic country. They're out to do business and to make more money for their business partners. So them saying punishing U.S. companies for this makes no sense. All I see in the background is a bunch of shadowy figures laughing like we know, but it does make money. Bitcoin Zay, what do you have to say about this?
Oh man, same thing you just said. We got all this snitching, pushing people out. Of course, that's what the U.S. does. I mean, they don't want you in their territory unless they get a piece of it. I don't see what we are adults, people. Grow the fuck up. This is what happens in real life. I'm sorry you all got sold this dream that things are fair, but life is definitely not fair, and you can't make it fair even if you want to. The best you can do is join up with the most powerful people and get money one way or the other because of that power. There ain't much more you can do. You're not gonna change things from the inside or from the outside. And at this point, this is how it goes, man. I don't really have much to say. You said it all. You said it perfectly.
It's crazy.
This is how it is, man.
It is what it is. All right, there it is. This is the United States saying everybody was doing slavery. Yeah. why y'all just mad at me? Come on, guys. I thought we all had a couple. It's just us. Well, maybe we did it better than everybody. We all did it. I thought, yeah, what's going on? All right. Talking Tron real quick. Tron stablecoin USDD loses dollar peg on suspected sell-off by Alameda Research. What is going on with Tron and other stablecoins in the space right now?
Oh, yeah. Well, before we start, let me just show you who Alameda Research's lead team is. Just look at this. Look
Dirty
at these.
Forces. That sounds like Dirty White Shoes. I know Zay
Come
voice
on, man.
people.
Come
it sounds like
on,
Zay
bro.
voice is Dirty White Shoes.
Come on, bro. Get these dirty white shoes out of here. This is what I'm
Dirty
talking
White
about.
Forces. They look smart, though. I will say. They look like they stay in the room and study. So
I don't give a damn how much they study. Who in the world sees that face and says, yeah, I trust them with $10 billion? Get y'all ugly ass out of here, man. Alameda Research can get out of here. But yes, I lost the story here.
That's my fault.
Okay, I got it here. But yeah, so the USDD stablecoin slipped below a dollar peg. Tether as well, but Tron's network's USDD slipped down to about 96 cents, and a modest recovery to 98 cents. And people were scared because they were saying that Tether as well as Tron may be deployed to sell so that they can cover their losses. So if that does happen and a bunch of Tether or a bunch of USDD gets sold at a rapid pace, faster than it's able to retain that peg, then it may lose its value as well. And we saw Luna lose its peg and go straight to zero. So people were anxious with that yesterday. I can tell you right now, if Tether or USDD or another stable coin goes straight to zero, I mean, you're going to have panic for real in the streets. And that's when capitulation is going to start. Well, it's already started, I think, but that's when it's going to be, set in stone. Yeah, we are definitely in capitulation. So that was the main thing. Justin Sun was speaking with SBF to try and, I guess, discuss avoiding insolvency. But again, who actually trusts Justin Sun? I don't trust anybody that pays $250,000 to have lunch with Warren Buffett.
Yeah, I don't trust that either.
Yeah, I don't trust that either, man. You're a groupie, you're a fan, and he only shows up at random times. Where was he before this? Where has Justin Sun been the last year? Exactly.
It's been too whack. Ain't nothing been going on good.
He jumps in when he can. He jumps on the bandwagon, riding the coattails. Get out of here.
Yeah, so for those who understand it, Zay absolutely love dirty Air Force Ones and other white tennis shoes that they wear in California. That's his style. That's his favorite type of shoe. So you can't wait to talk about it. Listen, I'm a fan of the dirty shoes, folks. It is stylish. Nobody cares. Everybody who wears dirty shoes are rich, all right? It is what it is.
Exactly, because of the people that's wearing them. But the actual shoes itself, I'm sorry, man. I grew up.
Okay, that's true. The actual shoes themselves.
The people that's wearing them, you like whatever. But I grew up in the South. If you had dirty white shoes, you was getting clowned the whole day, all the way home, on the bus, on the way into the house. And you might get them stolen just so they could throw them in the trash to help you out. Like, bro, you might as well walk around in socks if you had dirty white sneakers when I was young.
Zay, know I am. No, I was gonna say, I'm guilty. Go ahead.
At this point, everybody wears them. Everybody wears dirty white sneakers.
Yeah, I'm guilty. Hey, I got a pair I'm looking at right now, folks. All right, it is what it is. Yeah. Hey, you look at me in the streets, but this man ain't got nothing good going for him. Nope, I don't. Now leave me alone. Let me be about my way. Thank you.
Yeah, I got some dirty white forces over here. My grass cutters. I would say
your grass cutters.
Yeah, my grass cutters. You see, that's dirty to me. And some people be
that's not California. You can't even wear them to club yet. Them still clean. I ain't trying to hear that.
This is dirty to me, but their forces be horrendous. They are flagrant. They got to get out of here with that garbage, man. I would never accept dirty forces.
Hey, I got some shoes I got offset months ago. Hey, I'm about to super glue them things back together. They busting off the side. I'm about to put some there's some good ass shoes. I'm just getting super glue, man. Satoshi said at least they not Uggs.
Hey man, Uggs is the most comfortable shoe ever made. I don't care what nobody says. I'm never leaving Uggs.
I don't know what's going on. Junior said you sound like Tupac off Hit 'Em Up, and somebody else said something like, I'm not sure if your radio frequency is channel 3. Maybe you cracking or something. I don't know. We gotta figure it out. We'll figure it out. All right, last couple of stories. Grayscale. I'm over here thinking about clubbing in LA. Got the still face like a Greystones. All right. Grayscale Bitcoin Trust records a 41% discount amid FTX meltdown. What is going on with this Grayscale Bitcoin Trust?
Oh yeah. So yesterday after the meltdown, they had a 1 share price standing at $8.76. And at the time of writing, it lost 21% in 5 days, according to talking about Bitcoin. And they had a record discount. Overall, GBTC has been gradually declining for almost a year since its peak position of 51.
Wow, I didn't know they dropped that much. That's crazy.
Yes. So if you had a short open earlier this year, you got paid, or you're getting paid right now. I don't know exactly what their time period is, but we got to see when the next closing is for it. But yeah, so Grayscale went from 51.47 to 8.76 per share in the investment trust fund. and with the shares not freely created nor offering a redemption program. So the inefficiency creates significant price discrepancies versus the fund's underlying Bitcoin holdings. So we always say in times of huge drops, volatility, huge gains, volatility, a lot of stuff happens and goes wonky in the market. A lot of exchanges go down. A lot of these prices for GBTC change as well. So that's just the nature of the game, but it is something to pay attention to because that's where a lot of the investment money lies as well. They don't have Bitcoin self-custody. They have it through Grayscale.
There it is. L.A. Ramon, if I said or L.A. Raymond or Ramon, pardon me if I mispronounced it. Tuition, people, tuition. That's what that's what all these shows have been about. Just tuition. And the people who are paying tuition now, and we said this would happen if they didn't consult the likes of us and others in this space, and it's happening, are institutions. Institutions with all their bots and billions of dollars and connections and private planes and New York people, they got Wall Street and judges they know, they still are getting slapped by the Bitcoin and crypto market. All this technology and resources, they are getting fucked up by Bitcoin and the crypto market. People, it don't matter. That's what we said. And it's going to keep, listen, here's the deal. It's not, I don't think we even reached max pain. Two things are going to be max pain. Reggie and what he wants to happen coming to life, that's going to be max pain for a lot. And second, before this next happening, we are not out the weeds yet. And even after the next happening, once we hit 100K people and we're talking six figures, do you really think it won't be another new multi-billion-dollar company that's been is going to be fucking Apple?
Yeah.
Are they going to jump in with all their resources and say we can conquer this crypto market? We got everybody we know what to do. Crypto Bitcoin's at 160K now. No, they're going to come in the same thing gonna happen. Let's go ahead and slaughter these boys for 600 billion. Like it's nothing. Nothing's going.
I will.
You're going to pay tuition, or you're going to learn. You're going to buy one of these master classes, or you're going to pay tuition. But you're paying for something. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. I'm waiting for the ultimate nuke when Gary Gensler, aka Mr. Burns, shows up and says everything except Bitcoin is security. That's when you're gonna see Twitter's deleted, Instagram's deleted. You're gonna see people say nobody on YouTube. They're like, I'm out of here. This is garbage. This is whatever. But all it's gonna do is it's like a China ban. They're gonna ban it until they say, well, get this license and you can create crypto, and then the new wave of people gonna come in. That's when I think you'll see maybe, because again, I say 99%, which I do want to shout this out. Shout out to PBS Nova. I was on PBS last night on their documentary, Crypto Decoded. The one clip that I put on my Twitter was 99% of these projects are going to fail. And it's funny because I think I was the only Bitcoin person on, like, really on there. Because everybody else was crypto, this, blockchain, that, blah, blah, blah.
No more failing, consolidating.
Yeah, consolidation.
You gotta make sure they eat their medicine is digestible, bro. You trying to?
Hey man, I'm about to force feeding it into people's mouth because y'all motherfuckers won't listen. But
put in some they don't eat steak. I don't know. Put in some fruit or some shit.
Yeah, exactly. I know you got to put the medicine in the candy. But all that means is that it's only going to be like 200 legit projects, which isn't bad, people. Like if 99% go, it's still like 200 legit projects. So you're fine there. So it's not like it's a terrible thing. It's just I can see exactly what's coming with the regulations and, of course, with so many different projects. 21,000 crypto. You think that's going to be around? No, not at all. It's like the .com boom. There was a bunch of websites, and then they had to clear them out, and then the good ones came later, and then we hear it now with what we use.
And I can say for a fact, when we got started together in 2016, and there were less than 200 crypto, people were just like, I'm telling you now, it was still more than enough. Like less 200, and I do think it'll be a little bit higher than that. But regardless, it's like 200 to 500, whatever. Like that's way more than enough projects, people. And right now we're at like I think official, because last time we checked months ago we were like at 18,000.
21,000.
So we have to be. Is it 21? I said we're official over 19. Is it 21?
21. I just checked this morning.
21,000. 21 is too much. All right. Crypto.com, last but not least, commits to proof of reserves after halting certain deposits and withdrawals. What is going on with Crypto.com and what PR marketing strategy they're attempting now? Listen, they dirty to me too. So I don't know why they coming out. Hey, God, like, they all do it. But what's going on with this story?
OKX, Qcoin, Crypto.com, Bybit, every single one of their CEOs came out yesterday and said, we are going to show proof of reserve within the next month. And they've halted certain deposits.
Why a month? No, why a month? Do it today.
That's what I was about to get to.
Do it today.
That's what I was about to get to.
My bad.
Why you need a month? What? I thought y'all supposed to have an accounting team on call. Y'all got a whole legal team. What's going on? And they got their name on the stadium as well. So they might be the West Coast FTX. And Chris, I actually follow him on Twitter. That's the only person I know that works for Crypto.com that I know of. They're going to show their proof of reserves. Every single exchange is going to have to do this. I think they're going to make this. They're going to make this necessary for every exchange they're probably gonna do it quarterly, like proof of reserves every quarter or every month, or just random times whenever they want to do an audit. Because
Here, really quick, even better. Why not do it like 24/7? Like you're telling me we can go on a DeFi platform and see TVL as if a dollar goes out, we can see if a dollar goes in. So it can be automated. It can be all digitized. So no. I'm not for doing it a quarter. I'm not for doing it yearly. I'm for doing it 24/7 on your exchange. You know what? Let's do it. Fine. Y'all exchanges want regulators so bad. All right, come on, regulators. Hey, one thing I want to ask for a protection is to make sure every exchange has like an about us section. So as soon as we click on it, we can see the current reserves, the current TVL to the dollar, to the penny. That way we know. That way you can go on Coinbase today and say, oh, okay, they got this much. All right, tomorrow, okay. Why not do that? It is possible to do this, correct?
Oh yeah. And I mean, that's what the blockchain is for. You can see the assets coming as they happen, and you can see the outflow as well. This should be possible. The only problem is when you deal with cash, you have to deal with the wait times of the processing of the dollars. So that's the one thing that could maybe prevent it on the front end. But on the back end, yeah, definitely, you could definitely do that. But if the reserves were public and you could watch it in real time, you can go to a website and just watch what's going in, what's going out. That would show complete transparency. But I will say though, banks don't do this. So, and they should be able to.
That's true.
So we're holding crypto to a standard that's even higher than banks, which is fine if you want to. But at the same time, none of this would have to happen if people just, had the transparency that they wanted before. But this is what happens.
There it is. All right. Other than that, that is the show for today. Shout out to Jake Fee for that last minute comment. Said the guy who created the windshield wiper took 2 decades to win his lawsuit. Reggie may follow his path. Now, that is the one thing I have said. I'm like, hey, this thing could be locked up in litigation for a while. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, I would 6 months to a year at least, unless we say that if he can talk to the right person in the right seat to be like, hey, this benefits us all.
Yeah.
Then maybe it won't.
Then I don't want the whole pie. I just want a piece of it.
Yeah, man. I know Coinbase is 300 million by themselves. Like, come on. I mean, people got to get elected, right? You're trying to run for something, aren't you? There. Like, listen, Reggie, hire me, man. I got you, bro. I know the people to call. I told you, I'm part of the gang for real. I'll call, man. I'll make the right calls. But like, didn't you say you want to run for governor of the state? What do you need? You need 14 million? Yeah, I got a guy.
Yeah,
what do you mean you got a guy? I got a guy, man.
Now, hold on. Before we leave, I do want to show this because people keep asking about the PBS thing. Here it is right here. If people want to watch it, let's see. Where's it at? I can't see it right now. Let me turn on the sound.
20% a working technology and 80% a utopian vision of how society could be.
Are they a flash in the pan?
The future of crypto is that 99% of projects will be rendered useless.
Consolidate.
Bro, so many people
they don't like hearing that. It scares the shit out of them when they be like, wait, what do you mean?
What do you mean? It's like, what do you mean?
Have you read the white paper yet?
Yeah.
Have you read other white papers? There you go.
Yeah. But yeah, it's on PBS now. It's on their channel. But yeah, you can check that out. I think I show up on there like 3 times. But yeah, it's good to see people trying to do it. But it is interesting timing when they dropped it because I did that interview. I think February. Like, good gracious.
Loki, I remember you telling me you did a while ago. That's what I was like,
a long time ago. Yeah, and that's why I forgot it was even out. Loco had to tell me, so it is what it is.
There it is. That is the show for today. Make sure you smash a like and share. Of course, we will see you all tomorrow with Fuck Bitcoin Friday. If you notice, these last few shows have went like literally an hour every day. We're not going to keep doing that. We're going to bring that back down to 30 minutes, but we want to make sure you all are getting some value. So again, smash that like and share. We appreciate it. And we will see you all tomorrow once again. Cheers.
Cheers.